Welcome to GTC. I hope you realize this is not a concert. You have arrived at a developers conference. The computer is the single most important instrument of society today. In one page, this is NVIDIA's journey. Started in 1993. In 2012, AlexNet, AI, and CUDA made first contact. In 2016, recognizing the importance of this computing model, we invented a brand new type of computer. We called it DGX-1. 170 teraflops in this supercomputer. 8 GPUs connected together for the very first time. I hand-delivered the very first DGX-1 to a startup located in San Francisco called OpenAI. DGX-1 was the world's first AI supercomputer. Remember, 170 teraflops. 2017, the transformer arrived. 2022, ChatGPT captured the world's imaginations, have people realize the importance and the capabilities of artificial intelligence. And 2023, generative AI emerged. We are now producing software, using computers to write software, producing software that never existed before. It is a brand new category. It took share from nothing, called artificial intelligence. A new industry has emerged. Well, we're going to talk about many things about this new industry. We're going to talk about how we're going to do computing next. We're going to talk about the type of software that you build because of this new industry, the new software, how you would think about this new software. What about applications in this new industry? Accelerated computing has reached the tipping point. General purpose computing has run out of steam. We need another way of doing computing so that we can continue to scale, so that we can continue to drive down the cost of computing, so that we can continue to consume more and more computing while being sustainable. Accelerated computing is a dramatic speed up over general purpose computing. And in one of the industries that benefited tremendously from scale, and you all know this one very well, large language models. Basically, after the transformer was invented, we were able to scale large language models at incredible rates, effectively doubling every 6 months. Now, how is it possible that by doubling every 6 months, that we have grown the industry, we have grown the computational requirements so far? And the reason for that is quite simply this. If you double the size of the model, you double the size of your brain, you need twice as much information to go fill it. And so every time you double your parameter count, you also have to appropriately increase your training token count. The combination of those two numbers becomes the computation scale you have to support. The latest, the state-of-the-art OpenAI model is approximately 1.8 trillion parameters. 1.8 trillion parameters required several trillion tokens to go train. So a few trillion parameters on the order of, a few trillion tokens on the order of, when you multiply the two of them together, approximately 30, 40, 50 billion, quadrillion floating point operations per second. Now we just have to do some CO math right now, just hang with me. So you have 30 billion quadrillion. A quadrillion is like a peta. And so if you had a petaflop GPU, you would need 30 billion seconds to go compute, to go train that model. 30 billion seconds is approximately 1,000 years. Well, 1,000 years, it's worth it. 1,000 years, 1,000 years. So what we need are bigger GPUs. We need much, much bigger GPUs. We recognized this early on, and we realized that the answer is to put a whole bunch of GPUs together. And of course, innovate a whole bunch of things along the way, like inventing tensor cores. And so DGX-1 was our first version, but it wasn't the last. We built supercomputers all along the way. In 2021, we had Selene, 4,500 GPUs or so. And then in 2023, we built one of the largest AI supercomputers in the world. It's just come online, EOS. And so, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to introduce you to a very, very big GPU. Blackwell, ladies and gentlemen, enjoy this. Blackwell is not a chip. Blackwell is the name of a platform. People think we make GPUs, and we do, but GPUs don't look the way they used to. Here's the if you will, the heart of the Blackwell system. And this inside the company is not called Blackwell, it's just a number. And this is Blackwell sitting next to, this is the most advanced GPU in the world in production today. This is Hopper. This is Hopper. Hopper changed the world. This is Blackwell. It's okay, Hopper. You're very good. Good boy. Well, good girl. 208 billion transistors, and so you could see, I can see, there's a small line between two dies. This is the first time two dies have abutted like this together in such a way that the two dies think it's one chip. There's 10 terabytes of data between it, 10 terabytes per second, so that these two sides of the Blackwell chip have no clue which side they're on. There's no memory locality issues, no cache issues. It's just one giant chip. And so when we were told that Blackwell's ambitions were beyond the limits of physics, the engineer said, so what? And so this is what happened. And so this is the Blackwell chip, and it goes into two types of systems. The first one is form-fit function compatible to Hopper. And so you slide on Hopper and you push in Blackwell. That's the reason why one of the challenges of ramping is going to be so efficient. There are installations of Hoppers all over the world, and they could be the same infrastructure, same design, the power, the electricity, the thermals, the software, identical, push it right back. And so this is a Hopper version for the current HGX configuration. And this is what the second Hopper looks like this. Now this is a prototype board, and Janine, could I just borrow? Ladies and gentlemen, Janine Paul. And so this is a fully functioning board, and I'll just be careful here. This right here is, I don't know, $10 billion. The second one's 5. It gets cheaper after that, so any customers in the audience, it's okay. All right, but this one's quite expensive. This is the bring-up board, and the way it's going to go to production is like this one here, okay? And so you're going to take this. It has two Blackwell chips and 4 Blackwell dies connected to a Grace CPU. The Grace CPU has a super fast chip-to-chip link. What's amazing is this computer is the first of its kind where this much computation, first of all, fits into this small of a place. Second, it's memory coherent. They feel like they're just one big happy family working on one application together. And so everything is coherent within it. Just the amount of, you saw the numbers. There's a lot of terabytes this and terabytes that. But this is a miracle. This is let's see, what are some of the things on here? There's NVLink on top, PCI Express on the bottom. On your, which one is mine and your left? One of them, it doesn't matter. One of them is a CPU chip-to-chip link. It's my left or your, depending on which side. I was trying to sort that out, and I just kind of, doesn't matter. Hopefully it comes plugged in, so. Okay, so this is the Grace Blackwell system. The rate at which we're advancing computing is insane, and it's still not fast enough, so we built another chip. This chip is just an incredible chip. We call it the NVLink switch. It's 50 billion transistors. It's almost the size of Hopper all by itself. This switch chip has 4 NVLinks in it, each 1.8 terabytes per second, and it has computation in it, as I mentioned. What is this chip for? If we were to build such a chip, we can have every single GPU talk to every other GPU at full speed at the same time. That's insane. Now this system is kind of insane. This is one DGX. This is what a DGX looks like now. Remember, just 6 years ago, it was pretty heavy, but I was able to lift it. I delivered the first DGX-1 to OpenAI, and the researchers there, it's on, the pictures are on the internet, and we all autographed it. If you come to my office, it's autographed there. It's really beautiful. But you could lift it. This DGX, that DGX, by the way, was 170 teraflops. If you're not familiar with the numbering system, that's 0.17 petaflops. So this is 720. The first one I delivered to OpenAI was 0.17. You could round it up to 0.2, it won't make any difference. And back then, it was like, wow, 30 more teraflops. And so this is now 720 petaflops, almost an exaflop for training, and the world's first 1 exaflops machine in one rack. Just so you know, there are only a couple, 2, 3 exaflops machines on the planet as we speak. And so this is an exaflops AI system in one single. Well, let's take a look at the back of it. So this is what makes it possible. That's the back, the DGX NVLink spine. 130 terabytes per second goes through the back of that chassis. That is more than the aggregate bandwidth of the internet. So we could basically send everything to everybody within a second. It's liquid cooled. What goes in is 25 degrees C, about room temperature. What comes out is 45 degrees C, about your jacuzzi.
To meet the demand for NVIDIA accelerated computing, Wistron, one of our leading manufacturing partners, is building digital twins of NVIDIA DGX and HGX factories using custom software developed with Omniverse SDKs and APIs. For their newest factory, Wistron started with a digital twin to virtually integrate their multi-CAD and process simulation data into a unified view. Testing and optimizing layouts in this physically accurate digital environment increased worker efficiency by 51%. During construction, the Omniverse digital twin was used to verify that the physical build matched the digital plans. Identifying any discrepancies early has helped avoid costly change orders. And the results have been impressive. Using a digital twin helped bring Wistron's factory online in half the time, just 2.5 months instead of 5. In operation, the Omniverse digital twin helps Wistron rapidly test new layouts to accommodate new processes or improve operations in the existing space, and monitor real-time operations using live IoT data from every machine on the production line, which ultimately enabled Wistron to reduce end-to-end cycle times by 50% and defect rates by 40%. With NVIDIA AI and Omniverse, NVIDIA's global ecosystem of partners are building a new era of accelerated, AI-enabled digitalization.
That's the way it's going to be in the future. We're going to manufacture everything digitally first, and then we'll manufacture it physically. This, as you know, was First Contact. 2012, AlexNet. You put a cat into this computer, and it comes out and it says, cat. And so we imagine that this is a completely new way of writing software. And now, today, as you know, you type in the word CAT, and what comes out is a cat. Unbelievable. How is it possible? That's right. How is it possible you took 3 letters and you generated 1 million pixels from it, and it made sense? And here we are, just literally 10 years later, where we recognize text, we recognize images, we recognize videos and sounds and images. Not only do we recognize them, we understand their meaning. We understand the meaning of the text. That's the reason why it can chat with you. It can summarize for you. It understands the text. It understood, not just recognizes the English, it understood the English. It doesn't just recognize the pixels, it understood the pixels. And you can even condition it between 2 modalities. You can have language condition image and generate all kinds of interesting things. And so therefore, the generative AI revolution is here. Rack.